That's all what it took. It was like a gunshot. We can see the powder, the gunpowder. So that's all what it took. And our new challenge is this Porsche Macan, which is an electric car, full electric. I'm gonna fix this with Lal. What is wrong with this? As usual,
Yeah,
not driving.
not really.
So what's the history? It was the front end
Damage.
damage. Airbag deployed. Do we know anything?
They did some work on it.
Yeah.
They
So
going here.
what is certain, we don't know fully the extent of the history, but what is certain, the Macan is not running. Well, we have ignition, but we have no ready coming on.
No.
And this is a 2025 model, so quite a new vehicle. Let's get inside and see how we can revive the Macan. It's time to drive the Macan, but for now, just by pushing it. Let's go, guys. It does drive. Hello from OGS Mechanics and OGS Mechanics Hybrid and EV. I'm George, and here in our workshop we fix cars. All types of cars, but mainly specializing in hybrid and EV vehicle like this. Stay close for interesting repairs translated in videos. Let's go through the dashboard. So drive control system fault, electrical system fault. We have the car symbol in red, the electric system. We have no airbag light, so it seems that whatever work has been done, it has fixed the errors in the airbag. So we might have crash data. Now on Porsche, on some vehicles, you can simply reset the crash and the vehicle starts. Not really certain whether this is going to be the case. This is going to be such a simple repair. We have a bit of charge in the battery, which is good. That is not on zero, but we need to address this. Is this going to be a just simple job, just like resetting and getting running? That will be something. Let's see. This Macan is a 2025 model, and it is slightly different technology when it comes to diagnostics. And interestingly, whatever we've tried, we cannot talk to the car. Well, anyway, with the dealer tool, we're not yet certain whether we'll have to replace any control units, whether we're going to need programming now. We'll try to access the support to see why we keep on this, getting the screen, why we cannot establish communication. So we're going to leave the dealer tool for now, and we're going to connect with an aftermarket tool. We want to read some data out of the car. We've started getting a bit of history on the car, but let's connect the other tool and then see what readings we can get from the car to have a bit of understanding where we have to go with it. Do we have to dismantle things? I said on Porsche, there are a lot of resets that can be done, that have to be done when a crash occurs. So it looks like it's very clear a crash was on this car and it has been repaired. But what this has got to do with traction system, with the high voltage system, we are yet to establish. Unfortunately, cannot do at the moment with the dealer tool. So this is the online Porsche software, which for the 2025, for some reason, it doesn't work, but not certain is the software. We tried two different interfaces because apparently you use new interfaces as those 2024 or something. But it's not working at the moment, so we're gonna shut this down for now. Rely on the old school one. Well, not so old, but a bit older. Looks like we do have the communication with the Macan with this tool. So yeah, it's very interesting. We have to find out what's happening with the dealer tool, why there's no comms with it. And we have quite a few error codes. 170, 124, 130, still counting. I think a lot of them, they'll be related with the voltage because the 12-volt battery was down. 264, 331 officially. I don't think I ever seen a car with so many error codes, huh?
Maybe due to the accident and crash rate.
Yeah, no, I think a lot of them, they'll be related with voltage because the battery. I've got a plan, Lal. We're gonna print out the error codes. We're gonna need about 40 pages, I don't know, 60 pages. 373. I think this is a record. We've never seen so many.
Can I say one?
Huh? You wanna save it?
Maybe.
Yeah, save it. We're gonna save this report and then we're gonna clear error codes. We're not even gonna check because it's gonna take us for ages to check 370 error codes. But a lot of them, they'll be related with a weak 12-volt battery. We've replaced it with a better one. This is BMW. It's actually not the Porsche one. You know what? Interesting. So this one, it doesn't have a lithium-ion battery.
No.
The Taycan, this moment that you see this video, we've also done a Taycan. That was an interesting repair. If you haven't seen that, check our channel because that's going to be a nice repair. So we've replaced that battery. Yeah, a lot of error codes related with power supply voltage low. So let's just clear. We have cleared all the error codes, and now it's a good time to have a bit of understanding what is going on. Okay, high voltage accident, switch off active. Function restricted. So this high voltage system explosion protection triggered. It tells me there's not a softer. This is going to be a pyrofuse.
Inside the bag.
If you say, is what it is, on many cars, it's going to trigger just a software protection. But if it says explosion, pretty certain we're going to have a pyrofuse in here.
One is here.
Here, but yeah, we do have a pyrofuse, but this is on the 12-volt system. And this pyrofuse, we already checked it.
Yeah, it's good.
It's good. But we have on the traction battery explosion protection triggered in the high voltage in the e-box. So it looks like this Porsche might have pyrofuse
Inside the battery.
inside the battery. Does the Taycan have the pyrofuse? No.
No, Taycan.
Taycan doesn't have a pyrofuse, same electric drive. So we do have a lot of crash errors in multiple control units, but on the traction battery, we have explosion.
So maybe pyrofuse blown.
That's what it looks. So it's going to be a bit of a chain of events from the traction battery onto other control units. And now, since we have explosion, we might have a pyrofuse in the high voltage battery. Now that, on its own, after we replace that, it should clear all the other error codes, or the other control units might need resetting. So we've checked the Macan. We managed to read eventually the car. We still have to find out why our online software cannot read this new Macan. Anyway, we managed to have a bit of understanding about the car. We managed to clear crash data in one of the control, but it looks like there is a problem on the traction battery. In there, we are suspecting a pyrofuse. What's a pyrofuse? Pyrofuse is electric fuse that basically breaks a contact when a crash occurs. So similar with airbags. So reacts very quick, and it basically stops the power, the energy from going outside the battery. And it looks like on this particular one, it does have a traction, a pyrofuse. We had a Taycan, like I said, a few weeks ago, and similar crash. It did not have a pyrofuse. So we're gonna put the Macan up on the ramp and start planning for probably removal of the battery. I don't see that we'll be able to access the safety box without taking the battery off. We'll have the Macan up to have a glimpse underneath. We've never seen one like this, no? It's the first. There's always a first. So you take the cover. This is the towing guy. And in here, you can power up the battery in case there's no no power at all in the battery, and you need to open the boot. Interesting? I think it is. Look at that. How the Macan looks underneath. Very good, isn't it? The protection for the battery is good that it's not cracked. But see, this one, it has been loaded. It's been on the forklift. Anyway, what's this? Our plan is to take this bit down, have it stripped to locate the distribution box, and that pyrofuse. According to what we've seen on a diagnostic, we're expecting to see a pyrofuse. Now, hopefully, we are right. And there's a pyrofuse, and we're not going to take the battery off for nothing. Yeah? We do have more information on the Macan. Apparently, a diagnosis has been done, and the process of fixing the Macan is to replace the whole battery for a cost of over £50,000. Now, wow, that is something, Lal. Have you heard that? £50,000.
Full battery.
It's full battery. Why? We're yet to find out. Now we remove the under trays, and then we make space to get access to the power lines, to the cooling line. So this is coolant. Yeah. Similar to Taycan, isn't it? It is different.
Taycan is bigger battery.
Yeah. So we'll prepare to disconnect the battery. We have now access to cooling, obviously the power supply. We're gonna undo all the bolts and take the battery. But now it's quite more interesting why it was said that the whole battery has to be replaced, because so far we haven't seen anything pointing towards the whole battery needed to be replaced. Physically, we don't see any damage to the housing, which is always very important. So physically, in a way that the bottom to be crushed, because if it comes to that, then definitely it is a battery replacement. So we are getting ready to drop it down. We have prepared the Macan underneath, taking the under trays, also draining the coolant. We're gonna get inside the car, where under the rear seats, we have to disconnect the battery. Let's have a look, Lali. Now we have access to the cabling. While we're taking things apart, we found something very interesting on both sides. Look how long this bolt is, and you're not gonna believe what is holding. It's holding just an earth cable. Do you think this is long enough? Lal, have you seen this? Do you think this bolt is long enough? Maybe we should use a longer one when we put everything back. Huh? Why did they use such a long bolt? Same way there. Huh? Macan up. Hopefully the battery down. Take 6, 7, 8, 9. because 10, because we found more bolts from the top holding the battery. Of course, it's a heavy item that has bolts all around, backwards and forwards, and from the top, from the interior on the car. But now we should be ready to disconnect the battery. And we're still gonna have the cabling on the side. So, Lal, are you checking there?
Yeah, I'll check this.
We have two more sections of the wiring, quite a lot of connectors that we need to disconnect. See, we have one here, one on the other side, quite a lot of them to disconnect before we can actually. Anyway, it's not a lot on, but how? Huh? I'll tell you how they've done it. So we are stuck now to pull out the cable. Honestly, it doesn't make sense, man. It doesn't make sense, but it is. We have to, you know how it is sometimes when you have to move furniture. You have to find the right angle to. It feels like that, isn't it? No, there's definitely not clearance. we have one connector that cannot remove because of the DC-DC converter. Is the DC-DC?
DC, the positive.
Oh my God, that's a big one, isn't it? So that's how it looks, a Porsche Macan traction battery. Quite unusual shape, but when it comes to here, so this is a big unit. And we have to take this unit out, and our pyrofuse, it should be below this cover. So there was no way to do that on the situ, in situ. So although there's this access over here, yeah. So we have some covers, which potentially, if we take them, might give us access to the pyrofuses. There's a possibility, isn't it? Well, we have to transport this in our bay where we dismantle the battery and get into the battery. Hopefully we're gonna find the pyrofuse, otherwise, oh, we've done a lot of work. We've done so many takes. So look, those are the bolts from the inside. Yeah, quite a lot of them. And no security on the outside. No, on the side. We have in the front and in the back, but not on the side. Do we have stats about the battery? So what do we have? So 662 volts.
151 ampere.
Okay, and 569 kilos. Yeah, I'll say it's, yeah, same as usual. And how many kilowatts you said?
100.
100 kilo, wow.
And the Taycan coming 723 volt.
100 kilowatts, so that should be, because if you think about it, it's not quite such big of a battery, but being a newer technology, it has 100 kilowatts hour of energy stored. So the reality is that the battery get better and better by the year if we look back, isn't it? Definitely. Even our i3, same battery, same size, double capacity. So things are improving. Let's see how we're gonna get this Macan running. Now, here is where it gets a bit tricky with the work on electric cars, because we'll have to strip it, and hopefully we're gonna need parts. Because if we're gonna don't need parts, it means we have to put it back. But if we have to put it back, it's gonna be another problem that we haven't found the problem. So if we're gonna need parts, it means we're gonna be stuck with the car on the ramp, and which we don't want, because we want to need to use the ramp for another job. So while we're going to transport the battery in another bay, we're also going to prepare the Macan to be taken out and make room for another project until the parts arrive. But let's hope we're going to be in this situation, so we need parts. I hope we're going to find something wrong in the battery. So looking at it, and we were discussing with Lal, and we are a bit confused. I mean, Lal became confused because he didn't know what car he's working on. And we've seen in here is actually a VW. A VW. Oh, and he looked here, it says an Audi. And then remind of something, and I explained, Lal, the Porsche, it never breaks down. What it breaks down, the car that breaks down is not a Porsche. The car that breaks down is actually an Audi. I bet you have never seen a Porsche towing hook. Do you think it exists? Huh? That'll be something if they made a towing hook with a Porsche brand. It's cheaper, but you know, these things are happening, and Porsche is part of the VW Audi group. We see also what also includes in the VW Audi group. What's also included in the VW Audi group? Huh? In the VW Audi group. What also is part of the VW Audi group?
Skoda.
Yeah, the VAG. But it's also Lamborghini. Huh? Lamborghini. And also, is Porsche part of the group? Huh? It's Porsche. And all VW. Yeah. So part of the group also. And then also, huh? Bentley also. Bentley also. And also the Bugatti. The Bugatti, which is a big discussion going on now. Part also of the same group. But this battery, like all those cars, they do share VW technology. And yeah, those parts are used on the, definitely on Audi. Pretty certain it's going to be also. In the end, if you think about it, it is also an Audi.
Battery are look like almost Audi.
Yeah, yeah. But different department.
Yeah.
The sporty department. Let's go. Huh? Abby had to let the camera off to help. Whew. Whew. This is the train station where all the battery lands. And from here is the next stage. Look at that. Huh? Sounds like a submarine breather. Why did they make? Yeah, it's a breather valve. Why did they make this so high? And look exactly what we like. Ah, but it's soft silicone. It's soft silicone. But then you have to take this. In case you have to strip this battery, it is a bit of a job. Anyway.
Like this, they're selling this one. Last time we brought for the Q8.
Ah, let's take this because I can't wait till tomorrow. Can we? We have all the covers undone. Now is the time to play. Which one is the lucky one? Hmm? Aha, there's nothing in here. Surprise, surprise.
Giving this one to remove.
Yeah. Those are just access points to remove some connections. So nothing is accessible as easy as we thought it is. So it is a bit more to do. We're going to call it for a day. Resume in the morning because this is going to take quite a bit. I don't think it's going to be hard silicone. No, no, no. It's a soft one. But it is a lot of stripping. That's it for today. But don't go because the video is going to carry on soon. At this stage, we are ready. We have disconnected all the securing bolts. Can take all the covers off, where we have access to some connectors. All disconnected here. Could be like an interface. And then we've undone all the bolts. In theory, we should be able to lift up the cover. This is not the sharpest now.
We're using the leaf.
Huh?
The same. We are using the leaf. Okay.
By the time we cut it over, it glued back on here. Let's hope it's not going to be the case, is it? It's glued back on, huh? Really? Huh? It's quite a good. Huh? Okay, but
Something is holding.
something is holding now. Okay. Oh no, it's more sealant. More sealant.
Inside.
Huh?
Inside more.
Oh my god. Huh? Okay.
Just this side.
No. It has two layers of sealant, inner and outer. And we cut the outer, so it's sealed quite good. Huh? We have to do the front one. All right. So this is where we hope we're gonna find an issue. Straight away, Lal has found something. Will be this the part that we're looking for?
Maybe.
Because other than that, here is the battery.
Direct battery.
Direct battery is the output of it. That goes in this distribution box. What's the plan?
First, you have to remove this cover.
Yes. So we have some connection to disconnect. Then if we remove this board, we have no longer high voltage in here. And look, this sealant. See, it's a very good sealant, and it's sealed on two ways because this is so critical. No moisture should get in any of the batteries. And this is the reason for which the sealant is in this way. Okay.
Now the heats.
The heat pads. All right. One out.
The bolt.
Okay, yeah. Hold on. So, those are thermic pads. Obviously, lots of component in here. Yeah, that's the one. Let's hope that's the. Okay, so take this beauty there. Keep on breaking this in bits. So, this is how the distribution and safety box looks like. And in here we have relays. What do we have? Some slaves in here.
It's only
Big fuse. Huh?
The BMS should be inside the car.
The BMS will be inside the car, yeah. It's quite a comprehensive thing, isn't it? Well, bring the multimeter, man. We need to find out whether all this paid off. Is this? So it needs to. Yes. Now, you know, Aston, I haven't seen a pyrofuse like this.
No, normally start explode. Just
Yeah, no.
maybe
This
inside.
shape. So, how easy is going to be to find a pyrofuse? Not any 25 Macan.
Maybe it's available some other model.
Oh, we hope so. We're gonna put a VW one. Let's see the maxi fuses.
Good.
Perfect. Perfect. What's in there? Is this the resistor? No. Huh? It's still a fuse, yeah. 90 amps. Okay, so let's take it off now.
Yeah.
Lovely. Was this Porsche not running because of this? Huh? Is that all? And does this cost £50,000? So far we don't see anything. Let's check again. Other than this pyrofuse. The pyrofuses are so common. But yeah. You know what? It concerns me in a way why the Porsche said the whole battery has to be replaced, because we might run into a dead end where this is not available separate. Do you imagine what a shame will be to have to replace
for this fuse?
Yeah, as it is sometimes with the BMS. You have an error in the BMS and you cannot clear, and the only resolution is to replace it, replace the whole lot. It's silly.
The BMS anyway is outside. Maybe.
Yeah. No, I'm not talking about this one. But
other.
currently we have Mercedes with this is at the moment. So okay, we don't have anything else really to check here.
Relay.
We didn't have any relay codes.
5, 6, 7 relays.
7 relays, yeah.
3 fuse, 2 slave.
It's quite comprehensive. We've got a shopping list. Not big, but let's see if we manage to get anywhere. We have done some shopping. However, we are kind of hitting a wall because this is the pyrofuse. This is a pyrofuse, similar to one that we have. And it comes from e-tron. This one we know already, it's an Audi VW technology. Now, here is the problem. It's too short. It looks like as of 2025, the pyrofuse has changed on those cars, and you know what? It's not available. A Porsche dealer, they don't sell it separate. That's why the discussion was the whole battery has to be replaced. We managed to locate one. However, when we contact the supplier, it says it's no longer available. So we have spread our antennas all over the world, in US, in Europe, in Croatia, in Slovenia. Hopefully something will come up, but this might take long, and there's a bit of a problem because we have the battery here. We cannot keep it here a long time. Our space is a bit tight. And at the same time, we want to move on with the car. We want to know whether there is anything else. Now, you know, the pyrofuse, what exactly it is in here is a bridge that's when the pyrofuse, when the capsule gets triggered, it breaks down and basically interrupting the circuit. And you know what we've done? We've taken this apart. We like to desiccate things down to the I want to see exactly how it looks inside and what exactly is the technology, because in the end it's actually quite a simple technology and obviously efficient. So this is just the cover. It comes apart. Here is the blade, the bridge that actually here is the capsule when it's operated. The middle pushed out, and what it does, this one sits like this, is going to push the middle, so it's going to break the middle into this piece. So this acts like a spacer, but it's going to be crushed when this is happening. So see, our problem is that this it should be just a centimeter longer. Where is the orange? Sorry, here. We cannot. So all this is all what it takes, all what we need, because from the research that we did, the pyro section is fine. The capsule, apparently they are used same type of capsule. It just has to be longer. And then we've checked it. We've checked it with a micrometer and the vernier. So we got 4 millimeters and 16 millimeters. Yeah, we measure it also with the vernier. It's exactly same blade, 4 and 16. So the material, and then obviously it is copper, highly conductive. It just has to be a bit longer, and we cannot get one. It just has to be longer. Now, we have cut it a bit, the ends of those, because we've done some other things, some other tests. So this bit here, see how flimsy it is? It doesn't take much. And the thickness, we measure here, I think it's less than a, it's probably just a mil. Just a mil. And look the way, so it's not on the 16 mils on all the size of the blade. It shrinks and it's so thin in here, obviously to be breakable. Now obviously it is a bit of debate. So if you think about the surface where here the current is flowing, where the fuse breaks, it's quite a small surface. In theory this might work, but this is not okay. We really need a proper fuse. We'll try to get a fuse. In the meantime, we'll try to install one of those in there. You know what we were thinking? To do something. to blow a fuse, to see exactly how it does, how it happens in real life, not on the car. So we're going to connect this back. Yeah. No, like that. Yeah. See this? So this exercise is to here we cannot see much, but want to see how the components they're gonna look inside after the fuse is gonna be deployed, the capsule. So we have a measurement now. There's continuity between the terminals. We're gonna operate a capsule, which it should in theory break the connection. What it takes to break the capsule is a permanent supply. Ready?
Yeah.
Does it matter the polarity?
No, only the trigger
I should. Ready? Steady. That's all what it took. It was like a gunshot. We can see the powder, the gunpowder. So that's all what it took. And now,
Open loop.
open loop. And now when we're gonna open it, still a bit warm. Still smells like gunpowder. How are the components looking now?
Heater.
It's really. So imagine the heat that is being generated such a short period of time has melted the plastic. Oh really? So this actually broke in pieces here. I want to see if we can take the metal out. So this is those are the remains. So the metal is going to be squashed in there. But our bridge, yeah, we just want to see where the other piece is. It's gone inside. Yeah, I can take it out. So imagine we had that spacer here. It's squashed flat out. Look at this spacer. Yeah, it was a very thin material anyway. Anyways, in bits. But this is how the bridge looked like, and when the middle has been pushed in, all this collapse. Yeah. And what is important to take here is the thickness of the bridge where it breaks. So it's very, very thin if you have to think about the thickness of the material in the rest. So the contact surface is quite small. Why matter? It matters when we are thinking of what we want to do. Because since the only resolution at the moment to get a pyrofuse like this, which we don't want to keep as a permanent fix, we want to install one of those pyrofuse onto the battery.
Just okay.
Just so we'll need to put the battery back on the car. We cannot keep it here because it might take, I don't know, weeks until we're gonna get
Parts.
Yeah. So we're gonna work on the fuse and see how we're gonna install it.
Yeah.
So we are stuck, but at the same time we found a way to move forward, to put the battery back on the car and run some tests. Now, high voltage system is something very serious and dangerous if not handled correctly. We've, in a way, find a solution outside of spec to put the battery back together by installing one of the aftermarket pyrofuses into the housing of the original one. So essentially they are the same. The only problem that we're having is that the length of the pyrofuse is not long enough, and therefore it doesn't fit exactly as it should. Now, calculating the surface where the plate it's weakened to break, we have much more contact on the way that the fuse is installed now. Either way, anyway, I do not want to have this as a permanent solution, but it should be for us a good enough solution to get the box installed back on the car, because it might take weeks until we be able to produce the right length. So we know the pyrofuse element, it's exactly the same, it is compatible, it's just that the length on this one is not enough. So we'll start installing everything back, and hopefully we won't hit any other walls, because we don't know, once you're going to put this on the car, is there anything else? Are we going to be stuck by needing something else? We're not sure. So we know we are dealing with this pyrofuse to try to get exactly the right one. But in the meantime, we want to see whether anything else is needed apart from that. So that being said, let's start installing everything. What we have done is just to have a good seating. We have cut the end on the other ones. Yeah. Safety box already united with the battery, all secured, is ready to install the DC-DC. We have now the battery assembled, and we're gonna reunite it with the car. Hopefully we're gonna have the Macan driving, and hope we're not gonna have any other error codes, but for now let's go back on the car. We have to position now the battery, so when we lift it up it comes on the right fixing bolts. And what we've noticed here, apparently it's from the front end damage, it has affected one of the brackets from the cooling system. We'll try to straighten up, but also the plastic looks a bit broken, and I don't think we're gonna find components separate, but it's good that we don't have a leak. Let's see if we can straighten up. Yeah, we'll try to get it in the best position possible, but as long as we still can connect the hoses to it and it's not leaking, it's all right, because no separate components are available on this battery, unfortunately. So it's good that there's no more than that. We need the special tools to align the battery. It's all right. So we are now in position. We have to prepare all the cabling, because here is a maze of cables, and then also have to drop the subframe. Definitely not the most straightforward battery to be connected, isn't it? So we do have now all the cablings to be aligned on the side, everything connected on the distribution box with very tight clearance. We are securing the battery to the car, but this is not a permanent fix. So our plan here, it's only to connect the battery for two reasons. We waiting for a part, so we don't want to keep the battery in our battery room, and then also to run through the other possible error codes. So we're only going to do the minimum that the battery is safe to the car, so we can go on with the further checking on the car. So our plan is to hold the battery in the bolts from the front, 4 in the front, and how many in the back?
Two main subframe bolt and two spare leg.
The question is, are those enough to hold the battery? Do you know how much weight an M10 bolts looks like can hold?
When total four.
No. So a bolt, I mean, this is, I remember I was looking a while ago. So a bolt can hold safely about 800 kilo, an M10 bolt, 800 kilo.
Single bolt.
A single bolt in stretching. Obviously, we have a lot more than just one bolt, so we'll be safe enough to hold the battery just for our testing, really, and putting the car outside until hopefully we are still researching to see whether we can have a pyrofuse made or we can get components. So We've spread our antennas all over the world, really, in US, in Europe. So let's see whatever's going to come out of it. But yeah, for now, we want to see whether we can get the Porsche running. We've got everything installed. We are going to connect the battery, and we are discussing whether we should put the coolant or not. What's your take? So I like the positivity. So it means we're going to have the car running, because otherwise there's no need for coolant. If it already doesn't come on, no really needs for coolant. It should come on. Well, that's what we hope. Hopefully we won't have anything else unforeseen. It's interesting that Taycan, early Taycan, they have a lithium-ion battery, and the 2025 Macan has a normal battery. No? Why? This is not no more a sport car, because lithium-ion is a lot lighter battery than the normal. Perfect. Let's scan. We've got the scan connected. We just want to see charging not possible message, and the car still in red. And it could be due to the fact that we have error codes still in the control unit. So we still have a dry system, electrical system fault. Let's see why that is. And we had a question many times, and I don't think we ever replied. What type of hotel do you use? So the model of hotel that we are using is a MS909. And this particular one has the electric package on it. So the electric package gives us access to all the traction, the battery data, more than the standard Diagnostic does. All the orange are control units with error codes. 257, look at that. We've cleared the error codes. We are still left with about 43 error codes. We still have the message on the dash. So it looks like we still a way to go. And let's see what errors we still having. Real-time clock faulty. So check this out. We still have the explosion. You know what that means? There's a crash data in the battery control unit. So although we've replaced the pyrofuse, the error code is still there. And on this one, we have a problem with communicating with the dealer tool to see whether there is a procedure. So although we replace the pyrofuse and we re-enable the circuit, the error still persists in the control unit. It's going to be... So it's good actually that we didn't wait for the valve. And the battery control unit, I'm not sure, is it listed separate? Do we know? As far as I know, there's nothing listed separately for this car. So we tried to put it together because we've reset before the crash data in the control unit, in the getaway control unit. However, what we believe, because we still had the faulty pyrofuse, the error has triggered back. Now, we've reset it again. So let's see if this is gonna get rid of the error code here. We'd expected that we're gonna replace the pyrofuse and the error is gonna go away, but it looks like it's not the case. So the data gets stored also in the control unit, in the BMS. The error is still here. So I'll be curious if we switch it off and switch it back on, if the crash data will return in the getaway. It makes no difference with the. So we are kind of hitting another wall because the crash data is still present. We've reset the crash data in the getaway. We've replaced the pyro. We have a pyrofuse at least, but we still have crash.
Maybe the BMS data is triggering the gateway.
It could well be. We need to do more research to understand what's going on, but it doesn't look like a straightforward one. A good thing is that we didn't hold waiting for the pyrofuse because, yeah, we have been in the for a long wait afterwards. We have to do more research and see exactly how we're gonna handle this one here.